Hi, everyone. I'm just going to give folks a few more minutes to sign on, and then we can get started in a few minutes. Okay, so we'll get started. So hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Hitchcock. I'm the program manager for the Excellence Through Quality Improvement project, and I'm here with my colleague Ash, who's the program coordinator.
Hi, everyone.
So today's webinar, we're going to go over E-QIP's online collaborative community of practice, as well as the host site quorum. Before we get started today, we'll just go over some technical information for getting through the webinar today. So I just want to do a sound check. So if you could just write in the chat box if you can hear me okay, that would be great. Great, excellent. And if you are having trouble hearing the webinar through your computer, you're welcome to join the audio phone line that's posted on this slide and use the access code there. Your line will be automatically muted if you do that. If you have any questions or comments as we work through the content today, please either type in the question box or the chat box to let us know of your questions or suggestions for the community of practice. And the presentation handout, so the slides you're seeing on your screen now, they're all posted in the handout portion of your GoToWebinar window, as well as a handout on E-QIP's community of practice that gives you some brief information on how to become a member and some suggestions of what can be shared on that on our page. And just so you're aware, this webinar is being recorded and it will be posted on the top of our activity feed on the E-QIP community of practice, hopefully by this afternoon. So it'll be there for your reference as well as to share with your teams. And the handouts and the PowerPoints will be posted there as well. So I already introduced myself. My name is Jenna. I'm the program manager for E-QIP, and I will be co-presenting this webinar with Christina, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to check that you can hear me okay. Perfect, thanks. So my name is Christina, and I am the online community manager for Quorum. And part of my role is to support communities of practice that live on Quorum basically in a technical way. So if there's any questions that you have about the platform itself, you can always reach out to me for those questions. And today I'll just be walking you through the group's functionality as well as just Quorum as a whole, so you can see what other features it has to offer.
Great, thanks. So the agenda for the webinar today is I'll briefly go over the overview and the goals of E-QIP's online COP, so that's our subgroup on Quorum. And then Christina will take you through a tour of that group and and then give you an overview of HQO's quorum, so the larger site after she goes over our subgroup with you. And then we'll open it up to questions for Christina. If you have any technical questions or content questions, we'd be happy to answer them now. And if you have anything that pops up over the course of her demo, please feel free to type the questions in as you think about them. And then I'll just do, we have a call out right now for folks that are part of E-QIP to join a committee that's actually going to be helping plan the content that we'll be posting on our media practice, as well as content for our other communications channels like our social media and our newsletter. So I'll talk a little bit about that at the end, and if you're interested, there'll be next steps for you presented then. And then when you close the webinar today, there'll be a few questions for you to answer in terms of how do you see yourself using the community of practice, what types of resources would be helpful to you to post on there, as well as any interest that you might have in joining the content planning committee for the community of practice. So E-QIP lives on Quorum, or E-QIP's community of practice lives on Quorum, and Quorum, as Christina mentioned, is HQO's online platform for connecting healthcare service providers in Ontario that are interested in learning and sharing ideas about improvement in healthcare settings. Quorum and the E-QIP community of practice subgroup contains resources like tools, templates, webinar recordings, discussion forums, as well as membership lists that you can access through the site. The E-QIP community of practice itself currently has 92 members, and we're hoping to expand that over the course of the duration of E-QIP. And then there's the last two bullet points on this slide are just instructions of how to actually join the group, and that information is in a bit more detail on the handout PDFs that are in the handout sections that you can access on the GoToWebinar window. So I'll do a brief poll right now, asking if you are a member of E-QIP's community of practice currently. Great. Okay, so I see that most people are. So that'll just help Christina as she works through the demo. She'll just bypass some of the login information and get to the meat of Quorum and the E-QIP COP. So thanks for voting. Most of you that are on the call today are actually being supported by E-QIP through coaching. As part of your contract with the E-QIP team, we do request that teams post twice from the time they start their coaching support to when we start, to when you're finished with your coaching support in the fall. And we hope that the platform can be used as a tool to share information and lessons learned as you're working through your projects, so that the only times, so that we're not limited to only sharing information at the learning sessions that happen in person with the other teams. And so as you're working with your coaches over the next couple months, I encourage you to talk with them about key lessons learned and any resources that you've used that have really helped you do your project, and trying to post those on Quorum so that other people can benefit from them. And I won't go through these line by line, but these are essentially some ideas for you to share on Quorum. And essentially what we're hoping that you'll use the tool for is to ask questions, share those insights and those learnings that I mentioned before, and access and share resources that have helped you work through your quality improvement project as an organization. Quorum can also be used as a collaborative working space. So we have our E-QIP community of practice subgroup, but you can also create your own subgroup and make it private so that you can have a working space for your quality improvement team members as well as your coach, where you can upload any documents that you're working on together and have online conversations to help move your project forward and to work through and troubleshoot any issues that you're having. It's not a requirement as part of the E-QIP team or for those that are getting E-QIP support for you to do this, but it's there for you to use if you want to, and I know that some teams have already started using it as a workspace. And so I'm going to pass things over now to Christina, who's going to go over, first she'll do a E-QIP COP demo, and then she'll show you the rest of the quorum site. And so I'll pass things over to her.
Okay, thanks, Jenna. So I just wanted to confirm that people can now see my screen and they should be seeing the home page for Quorum. Is that right, Jenna? Do you see that?
Yep, I see it.
Okay, perfect. So as Jenna said, most of you are members of Quorum, so you can sign in from here, or if you don't have an account, you can just simply sign up and just fill out the form that you see. I'm going to sign in as you would, and I have my little picture there. And the first thing I'll do is show you some of the features of your group on Quorum. So an easy way to do this is just to go to the Community tab and then go to Groups. And in the group section, you can search for your group. So I'll just put in E-QIP. And then you can see you can navigate right there. Or if you're interested, you can just scroll down and see the other groups that are available. You can see that there are some smaller E-QIP groups that are being developed right now as well. So you might want to take a look at those. So once you're on the second page, you see your E-QIP community of practice and a little blurb. I'm already a member, so that's why the button says member. If you're not a member, it'll just say join group or something like that. And once you click on it, then you become a member right away. So I'm going to click into the group. Okay, so this is your group's home page. You might want to bookmark this page so it's just easy to navigate to if you'd like. And then you can go to it whenever you're interested. You could see there are now 94 members, and that's because I just recently became a member. So you're up to 94, and you can see the date that it has been established. There are 3 tabs that we're going to just walk through quickly today. The first one is the Activity tab, and I would say that this functions similarly to Facebook, where there is different posts that you can scroll through. You can see the E-QIP team has been posting and giving you some information. And then you can see here a member, Cynthia, also wrote on this activity page and just asked a question, and then the E-QIP team posted a reply. So if you're interested to post a comment, at the very top of the page it says leave a message for the group, and then you can go ahead and type that and share. You can also add an emoji, you can share an image, you can share a file, and you can restrict visibility. Usually people might, share an image or a file with their post, and you could just click share. So I'm not going to actually post that right now. That's one feature. So for instance, if you have a question that you'd like to pose to your group members, this is a great way to do that so that other people can see it and respond to you. And that way you're just leveraging each other's knowledge and experience. If you're reading through some of the posts that have already been added, there are other things that you can do. So for instance, if you like this, just like Facebook, you could just like it. You can add a comment or a reply to this post, and then you could just hit reply. Again, you could share an image, share a file. And the nice thing, I think, is the ability to subscribe. Once you subscribe to a post, anytime there's activity related to this particular post, then you will get notified. and you'll get notified over email, then you can come to Quorum and you can see what the update was. So I would recommend that to subscribe to various posts that you find interesting that you want to keep up to date on. So that's a little bit about the Activities tab. Under the Members tab, you will see a list of different members. And what's nice about this is you can click onto a member's profile. And I think what's the most interesting here is the About Me tab. So, I mean, right now I don't have too much information, but you will see if someone, what their title is, if they're, a quality improvement specialist or coach or so on. And if you're interested to connect with them, oh, that's because this is me, I'm going to pick somebody else because I can't message myself. Okay, Miranda. If you go to the About Me tab, you can see that Miranda is an executive assistant. You can see where she works, and perhaps you're interested to connect with her. There's a little button here where you can actually message Miranda. And this is another way to stay in touch and to leverage each other's knowledge and experience and to make connections within your network if you're interested. So that's the Membership tab. You can actually search. So if I put my last name in there, you can see that you can search that way as well. The Attachments tab, I think, is very well used by your E-QIP unit of practice. So you could see, just like any kind of filing system, you have your major folder, which is your E-QIP unit of practice. Then you have all of your folders here. You can click into them. And some of them actually have subfolders, like so. And within the subfolders, you could even have subfolders. So very well organized by your team already. And you can, I'm sure, search through and see what's here and available. Another way you can search is just to enter a search term here. So for instance, if you're looking for a project charter. So because I'm in this particular folder, it's searching just in that folder. If you want to search the whole filing system, you just click on the top there. And I'll search again, project charter. And then all kinds of great resources come up that you can then click on and just simply download. So you could see here that it just downloaded the actual document to my computer, and you can save that wherever you wish. So I encourage you to really look through these folders and make use of all the great resources that your group has put together. On a final note, what I'll just do is show you your group administrators. So here, if you're interested to connect with the E-QIP team, this is your general space. Then you have Michael and Jenna, and you can click again right onto their names, and you can connect with them directly if you'd like to do that, or email them, however you'd like. So that's just a few of the features. Jenna, if you think there's anything else or questions?
No, I think you've covered it. Yeah, I think if anyone has any questions on the E-QIP subpage, you can start typing them in. But if you want to go ahead and do the quorum tour, that would be great.
Sure, yeah. So feel free, as I'm doing the quorum tour, to write your questions in about the group, and I'm happy to answer that. Okay, so let's go to the posts section. So this is the general area of Quorum where people can share their latest QI news and stories. So you could see here, there's a variety of stories on a variety of topics, and they all have different tags. So getting to population health, what must we do? Embedding nutrition screening for seniors into clinical practice, reaching beyond the healthcare system, spotlight on the health justice initiative. So lots of really interesting posts from different organizations across different healthcare settings that are doing some really amazing work around quality improvement. So if you're interested, you can search for a keyword and look for particular stories that you might find interesting. So I'm just going to search primary care. And anything that's related to primary care kind of shows up here. Of course, you're very welcome to post anything that you're doing that you think would be of interest to the QI community. Under the Q&A, it's similar in that you can search for keywords or find specific questions, but you could see what other people are asking about within the QI community. So for instance, what are the barriers facilitators to improving care for people with heart failure? And this is from within Health Quality Ontario. They're seeking feedback from the larger QI community. This was one around mental health. How can we quickly scale up the mental health and addiction sector for QI? And when you click into it, you can see that members of the QI community have been responding. There's a response by Michael Dunn. So this is another way just to knowledge share and to leverage your community. Lessons learned. Similarly, you can search for keywords. And here you get some insights about lessons learned for applying different QI principles or programs or things like that. So for instance, implementing Teach Back. So this organization, which is Red Lake Margaret Memorial Hospital, tells us a little bit how they implemented Teach Back in order to improve patient engagement and patient understanding. There's a nice picture there as well. Okay, so for projects, this is related to the IDEAS program primarily. Individuals who complete the IDEAS program do end up posting their projects here. So again, if you're interested to search for different projects, you can see what other members of the QI community are doing within their healthcare sector. There's a few resources here if you're interested. The QIP Navigator, I'm not sure if you're familiar with some of these programs that Health Quality Ontario produces for those who are working on their QIP projects. So you can definitely scroll to that. For those who are creating a new community of practice, this resource is very helpful. And then finally, there's some information about the IDEAS program, the introductory one and the advanced one. University of Ottawa has a Foundations for Quality Improvement, and then the Institute for Healthcare Improvement is a great resource for those who are interested in learning more about quality improvement. They have certificate programs and webinars and great resources. I've really enjoyed looking at that information myself. So that's just some of the other sections of Quorum that you might be interested to take a look at when you have a chance. Any questions, Jenna, from the group?
No, not yet. But if you have a question, I encourage you to type it in, either in the chat box or the question box.
And as people are thinking, if you ever do have a question later on, you can always quickly contact us here. So if you send an email through this feature, then it will come directly to me. So I'm very happy to respond to any questions that you might have, either from a technical nature, or if you have questions about how you can best use Quorum or your group, just feel free to send us a note.
So I still don't have, one second here. So there is someone that's been looking for E-QIP project on the OCAN. That was done in our first round of projects, and when they type in OCAN on the search bar, nothing comes up, and they were wondering if they were doing it wrong. I'll start, and then Christina, if you want to chime in, that would be helpful. I'm not quite sure if Ruth's project is up on Quorum yet. It could be in our attachment section. It could be in project profiles if you click there, Christina. Yep, the third folder.
Which third folder? Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's not up there yet. So no, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I just don't think it's uploaded yet, but we can do that for you. Okay, he was looking under the project tab on the larger Quorum site.
I see. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a little bit different in terms of your community space and then this projects tab. So I think all of your resources will definitely be within this attachments tab. And then, like Jenna said, she'll upload things here.
Yeah, so we uploaded some of the project profiles from last time, but not all of them. So that's something that we're working on. But once those are all uploaded, we can post it on our activity feed so that you know that they're there when they're ready. Any other questions? None are coming in. So I'll finish off with the last few slides that I have. And if any other questions come in, I'll flag them for you, Christina.
Sure. I've now sent my screen back to you.
Okay, great. Okay. Great. So I hope that was helpful for you. I know it helps to have someone with the expertise and knowledge of Quorum walk you through it. I've done that a few times, and I learn something new every time. So thank you very much, Christina. So
My
this is
pleasure.
just slide about getting started. And I think you're all members, so I think you're on there, and this probably won't be relevant to you, but if you have other team members that want to be part of it, I encourage you to help them if you're comfortable with that, or forward on any questions to the E-QIP team. We're always here and ready to help, and the Quorum team is incredibly responsive as well. We have a call out right now for a Communications and Knowledge Exchange Content Planning Committee. And essentially what we want this committee to do is to help us inform what should be posted on Quorum and our other communications channels like our webinars and our newsletters. So I'm throwing this out to you because I feel like those that are on the call today are really keen on using Quorum and the E-QIP community of practice, so hoping maybe some of you would like to join this committee. We're meeting the third Tuesday of every month, starting April 17th at 9:30. The meetings will take place via teleconference or video conference if we need to share documents between the group. And essentially, that hour will be used to get your ideas as agencies receiving E-QIP coaching support in some way, shape, or form. What else would be helpful for you to learn about? What are some supplementary learning opportunities that we can provide you and the others that are working through QI projects? What might the community mental health and addiction sector benefit from learning from you and from the other projects, so that we can get those stories and share those lessons learned through our quorum group, but also through our newsletter, and maybe do, we have a series of webinars that we do, so making sure that that content is relevant for you as an E-QIP agency, but also to others that want to get started in quality improvement. So that hour will be used to get those ideas out from the group. But if you want to make more of that opportunity and do any writing for the newsletter or volunteer to do a post on the community of practice, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But there's no pressure to do that part. It's just really getting your ideas out at those monthly meetings that we'd love to have you part of that group. And these are just some upcoming training events through E-QIP and also through Health Quality Ontario. They have a series of spring webinars coming up on change management and measures, two-part webinar on measures. If you're interested in those, and the registration links are there. If you download the PDF, you should be able to register for those events. And so there's no other questions coming in, so I'm hoping that that webinar was helpful to you and made sense. Again, I just want to thank Christina for calling in today and giving us that great tour. And please reach out to us if you have any questions or comments on how we can make the space better. We're always open to feedback. I will flag that when you close this webinar, you should be prompted to complete a really short survey that will ask you really about your intentions to use the community of practice, what do you see yourself posting on there, and also asking questions on what do you want to see on there. So if you've had some time to go through and see the resources and discussions that are happening, what else would you like to see there? What are some discussion topics? So any ideas are welcome at this point, but I encourage you to take a few minutes to let us know what you're thinking of currently for the community of practice. So thank you all for joining today. And again, thanks to Christina. We will post this webinar on the community of practice so you can share with your teams, and I hope you all have a great afternoon.